everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Big Kris Live. We've restarted the stream 3 times now. I think it's working. I think it's going. Apologies. We're having some lag issues. There's been some episodes in the past I've been burned on the live stream, and it trickles down like shit flows downhill. So I just want to make sure we get the stream right. Hopefully the reboot or whatever we did is working. So Melanie Martin is our guest today, this evening on the podcast. Melanie and I do a radio show together. She's been on the podcast. This is her 3rd appearance. We're no strangers, and it's no strangers because we do a radio show every damn day, every Monday to Friday together. Plus the best of Kris and Melanie. Yeah. Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon and Sunday nights.
Yeah. I kind of feel like your streaming problem is like my problem. Like it's my fault. I'm feeling really bad about it because the whole dick thing. And first thing I say, hey, everybody, the whole dick thing. But I kind of feel like they're on to me or something. Like every time I jump on, there's an issue. Is it me?
Seemingly there is. Maybe you need to start wearing like fake glasses with a nose and a mustache so that the bots don't recognize you or something. Like, oh, there's that lady that showed the dick pic on Kris's podcast, right?
It's gonna have to be a thing, yeah.
I'm glad you got a full glass of wine there, Mel. Mm-hmm. That means we can loosen up, relax a little bit, and talk about how you joined OnlyFans today.
I did. Let me just clarify one thing. I feel like also the other thing is I'm always drinking wine when I'm podcasting with you or anyone else. It's not something I do all the time. It's just when I jump on podcasts. Just a heads up, because I've had some people ask me about it.
Okay, good. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no. It's just it's podcasting. Yeah. Yes, but here we go. Breaking news. I joined OnlyFans today. I got accepted, and it was
shit they accepted you.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but I heard this story about this woman that joined OnlyFans, and I think I can't remember what her name is. She is a Miss Poindexter or something like that.
She's a teacher, or wasn't she? I don't know.
No, she's not a teacher. What I know is that she's just she's a mom, and it was that whole story about those. I guess her kids were in a Catholic school. And they got kicked out after someone discovered that she was on. Yeah. So I'm like looking through this thing and I'm reading the stories. I'm like, she's making how much money doing? What's she doing? What? How do I get in on this action? So yeah, that kind of was the inspiration behind it. And I've actually had some requests.
You've had requests, like not creepy requests?
No, people who want me to go do an OnlyFans. And I was like, no, I'd never do something like that. Fast forward to now, here I am. I joined OnlyFans. Wow. Now, listen, if you want to follow me there, you can follow me there. I'm not going to be doing any crazy kind of nudes or any dirty shit.
Like,
it's just going to be exclusive content.
Exclusive content. Okay. Yeah. But is the exclusive content going to be you bent over with a dildo in your butt?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen ever. Okay. So if if you're looking for that, I am not the person to follow. There are like other people on there. There's like surfer girls that are just showing you how to surf and stuff. It's not all. Kris, don't give me that look. It's not all that.
It's not known for surfing instruction.
It's not known for that, but listen, there are people on there doing artistic things. It's not always a dildo in the ass, like you just said. It's class. It can be classier. Well, I'm not saying that's not classy. Do your thing, girl. If that's how you make your money.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a dildo. It could be a glass butt plug. It could be a glass blown butt plug. It could be a lot of different things.
Yeah, whatever your thing is, I'm not judging it. I'm just not personally going to do that. But what you are going to get is more exclusive content than what I'm doing on my Instagram. So.
Okay, well, you have some pretty popular Instagram photographs, so I can imagine that people would be hungry for more.
Well, I it's kind of a weird place. I think everybody has this like sort of judgment, but there's also like, Twitter was talking about doing this, like you have to pay to follow people.
You just referred to Twitter as a person, by the way. Hey, okay, Johnny was saying the other day. Hey, Twitter was saying the other day. What?
I know, ridiculous.
Anyways, Twitter was saying.
But Twitter had come out with this idea that they would start charging people, or some people, you could charge them to follow you or whatever to get exclusive content. And I think in some cases, if there's someone creating art or whatever it is, I think like supporting that person is okay for exclusive content, whatever that looks like. if you want to do sexy whatever, or just content period that you
Right.
want exclusive, I think people can support that. So
Okay.
that's my idea.
What should
I'll probably have like 1 or 2 followers. I asked you to do it today, and you
Yeah,
refused.
so Melanie texted me today, like, hey, follow me on OnlyFans. And I was like, no. My pregnant wife is going to pick up my phone and be like, why do you have OnlyFans? That's
For me.
fucking terrible idea. I'm going to end up divorced, living in a basement apartment in Barrie by myself, if that's the route, Melanie.
What? You only have to support me. It's only one person.
I'm just doing it to support Melanie, honey. Like, that's the only reason I have the app on my phone. It's not a good look or excuse. But what if, Mel, come with me on this journey. What if I got an OnlyFans account, but to be an OnlyFans influencer?
Yeah.
What would my influence be? What would I do on OnlyFans that people would subscribe to? Eat like a foot-long sub in under a minute? Or
yeah, I was gonna say maybe, but well, I guess you could do like the eating videos. Those are very popular.
yeah, like hot wings or whatever it is.
Well, not just hot wings, anything, just eing. Period. What do they call it? There's a name for that. It starts with an M. I can't remember.
It's called morbidly obese.
No, but people do these videos on YouTube of them just eating, and it's like a whole thing. They make a ton of money doing it. You could do that.
Okay, so I can just eat myself to death on camera and hopefully get paid for it?
Well, there's that. You asked. I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing about me. We haven't discussed this much on the podcast, and we won't linger on this too much, but, I am a food addict. That's the other thing, too, right? Like, I literally think about food all the time. I have a name for it, Melanie. I don't think I've ever told you this. Here's a little piece of Kristery that Melanie doesn't even know, and she's worked with me every day for like 3.5 years. Anyways, I call the hunger... it has a name. I call him the gremlin.
Oh,
it's a little gremlin that's inside my stomach, and he tells me what to do sometimes. Yeah. And he whispers awful things in my ear, like, that McDonald's at 1 a.m. won't hurt you. Makes me feel invincible.
Yeah, I think I have one of those too.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's got a gremlin.
Yeah.
Some gremlins are worse than others. Some gremlins say a little bit of a hit of crack won't hurt you. That's a gremlin. That's a gremlin too. Everyone's got different ones.
Yeah, I don't know that gremlin at all, but
no.
I definitely know the food gremlin. I don't have an addiction to it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, when I smoke a little bit and get the munchies, I mean it's not just the munchies, it's fierce. Like, it's beyond.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, what did I do? What surrounded by wrappers and candy. Yeah, I'm like, what did I do?
Oh man, it was such a hard night last night. I did Cheetos and nibs in one night, man. It was just not a good combo, man. Oh, it was
exactly.
bad.
Exactly. The gremlin is not good for your OnlyFans account, period.
No. Yeah, if you really want to stay on OnlyFans and make some money, don't listen to the gremlin. Do not.
Not a good idea.
There's actually an alumnus of this podcast, by the way, Melanie, who I think will probably end up being your first subscriber on OnlyFans. I won't name any names. I just know there is one person who has guested on this podcast who is a massive fan of Melanie's. Massive. Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
pretty sure he might show up on there.
All right, I'll look forward to that one fan.
Here's a radio transition for you. Speaking of crack,
hey,
as you know, Mel, the last podcast was with Ashley McIsaac, the famous fiddler from the East Coast, from Cape Breton, and he challenged me at the end of the episode to ask him a question, and he said, "Come on, bud, make it a hard one. Ask me the hardest question you got." And then we'll wrap her up here with a fiddle tune. And he had his fiddle and he's ready to do it, right? I pussed out, and I had a secondary, not as hard question that I asked. But my actual hard question, I'm just going to tell you. I was going to straight up just say, hey, what does crack taste like?
I'm glad you didn't.
I know. It was probably a good decision, right? I mean, we had a great chat. We had a great interview. But it's on his Wikipedia page, was addicted to crack from 97 to 99. So I thought if it was on Wikipedia, and he asked me to ask a hard one. I think that'd be a hard one.
I think you could ask something like that in a more eloquent way. I mean,
Yeah.
there's certainly a way to get into that conversation, which I think would be educational. I mean, there's people, obviously, addiction is a very real, I mean, not to take it to serious town,
Yeah.
but the reality is, it's a very serious thing. So I'm sure people can learn a lot from that. You could maybe just, buffer it a little nicer. I don't know.
Melanie,
Just don't crucify it. Don't crucify it.
Exactly. When have you known me to buffer anything?
I know. I'm just saying. What did you end up asking him? I didn't hear it.
I asked him, whether he thought that the people. I made an observation about how, because of his lifestyle in the 90s, which in the 90s, you remember they made a lot of big deal about that. And I feel like the Christian right or the conservative types tried to cancel Ashley McIsaac because of his lifestyle. And,
really?
And then I asked him, I said, do you feel like the same people that shamed you back in the 90s in the media and in various fashions for your lifestyle, isn't it funny now that in today's day in 2021 they would get shamed and they would get canceled for treating you like that, for talking to you like that?
Yeah.
And he, he is a gregarious, pretty fun-loving guy who doesn't hate anyone. He's like, no, but I don't hold anything against them. They wrote what they wrote back then. It was a different time, and now we're in 2021. And like, he was just,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like Ashley. He really got into my heart there during that
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, it is a very different time. I mean, you're right, and he's right. I mean, how many people have offered up apologies in the cancel culture and how things were then? It's just completely different, and I'm glad it is. I know a lot of people are complaining about cancel culture and saying it's too much, but I mean,
but some people
so
do
much
need to be canceled. That's the other thing.
Yeah, like so much needed to change. So much needed to change.
Well, and this is a great transition to radio transition time to the next bit. Like we've been hammering.
Wait a minute. Are you going to keep doing that all night?
Yeah. You want me to hit some posts too? In excess on Big 101.
Oh, God.
So anyways, transitioning to the cancel culture and things, we've been hammering this over the last couple of days, the Harry and Meghan thing. I feel I posted a meme last night. You saw it, Melanie.
I did.
It's on the screen now. And it's a Photoshop, obviously. And it's in reference to Meghan Markle and everything that's been said out there. And you know what? Let's not even review what was said. And everyone should know by now. I think it's pretty worldwide. The ratings of that interview was like what? Both the Emmys and the Golden Globes combined or something?
Yeah. 17, I think it was 17.1 or 17.7 million people tuned in, which like TV shows don't even get anymore. Like it doesn't even it's so rare that those kind of numbers come out. Yeah, it was huge. It was massive.
I feel like I was lucky last night when I posted this meme because it is funny. It's satirical. It's a little dark, no pun intended. It's a little, it's a little dank. But I made a mistake with the caption.
Right. And
the mistake was I labeled it Royal Family Savage because I thought it was like a savage take. The kids, they say savage all the time. Everything's savage, or they did for a while. I'm probably out of date now. But, so I was trying to be hip and say Royal Family Savage. They're savage. Look at it. They're awful people, right? And someone thought that I was referring to the baby as a savage.
Oh, my God.
Like Royal Family. But again, I didn't put a comma in there. There was no comma. So it read like that. If I put Royal Family, comma, savage. Yeah. But I didn't. And there was some complaints on my Facebook about it. And I was like, thank fuck. The only time that I'm happy I don't have a big following is now. Because that big following would have taken me down to Chinatown. And rightfully so, if that's what I actually meant, which I didn't. I was just trying to post a funny meme. And that was my caption on it, right?
Oof. Have you offered up clarification other than right now to your followers?
I did in the comment section. Yeah. I said I should have read the Royal Family is savage or how savage of the Royal Family, So I hope everyone's forgiven. I hope everyone understands the context. And if even above and beyond that, you don't like the meme, sorry for that too. Although I would still post it again because I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, knowing you, I love who you are. I respect your individuality, and you're a comedian, and this is what you do. You try to be funny.
Try. Thanks. Yes, I do.
Well, I'm just you're
Yeah.
yes. So, um, I personally wouldn't post something like that. It's not in my world. It's not in my taste, and it scared me. You sent it to me, and I did not. I did not think that you would actually post that publicly. To be honest,
it's in my Instagram stories too. It's everywhere. It's on Twitter. I put it on all platforms.
Not gonna lie, I really didn't think you were gonna do it, but you did, and I thought, well, that's Kris.
Well,
so it's not something that, like, again, I don't want to take it all to serious town. I know, but I just think in this time we're in. It's a very serious conversation. I don't want to add to that dialogue, which I think is a shitty dialogue. So that's just my opinion.
Taking the high road, as usual. But that's okay. That's the dynamic. That's the dynamic.
Yeah.
That's what makes radio magic between us.
It's like always my job to babysit Kris.
And I know it's exhausting. I know it's exhausting too.
Yeah, I feel I can relate to Lisa so much because it's like, Jesus. No, don't do that, Kris. Behind the scenes, a lot of no, you probably shouldn't say that.
Again, like Mel, you can relate too. You heard me talking about it on Friday that I was going to torture the real estate agent and the photographer that came to the house. And the only reason I've cut out my antics is because, and I'll elaborate on the story for those who missed it. I told it with Ashley on the last episode, and we talked about it on the air a lot. But the only reason I've cut out my antics is because of my wife's blood pressure, and she's like 5 weeks away from our due date, not necessarily from giving birth. So it was sending her blood pressure through the roof because my antics were trickling down to phone calls to her because they couldn't get me to stop, so they were trying to go to her about it, and that's my bad. So
yeah, that's when you're like, oh shit, like I gotta stop.
I made a tactical error. So what I was doing was I'm unreasonably upset. I can even admit that I'm unreasonable that our landlords have decided to, it's their legal right, sell our house that we're renting right now, that we've been renting for the last 4.5 years, and we're priced out of the market. We got to move. We got to find a cheaper place. We got all these other yada, yada, yada things that we got to trickle down. My wife's about to give birth to a baby. Our baby's going to be 4 weeks old. We got to find a new place, and then we got to pack up and move. It's a lot of things that are stressful, right? And so I just, I'm over it now. I've gone through the stages of grief, the denial, then anger, and then depression, and then finally acceptance, right? And so I finally reached the acceptance part. Anyway, so I played the bagpipes in the house while they were trying to take photographs, and the realtor was here. And I played for not just a little bit, 25 minutes. And I have the lung capacity. I've got the power to go. And I went for about 20, 25 minutes, half an hour, until I got a text from my wife saying, I'm getting texts with videos of you playing the bagpipes. What are you doing? I left you to handle this. Yeah. So you, Melanie, have the easy job. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and we have talked about this, but I feel your pain. I rented a couple of condos in Toronto, and it was like back to back. It happened to me. I just got comfortable. I was just moved in. Like, I think it was a year later, just as the lease was up, the landlord was like, shit, we're selling. And there's nothing more frustrating than that. I get it. And then it happened a second time, but for me, I definitely took the high road. I was frustrated, but it is their home. It's their right to make money off it. But when you told me the backstory, because initially I was saying to Kris, you should just go,
stand down.
Forget it. Yeah. Put your energy, on finding a new place, focus on a new place for you and Lisa. You're going to be so much happier, just, whatever. But then when you told me the backstory, that they knew all of this and you had given them the checks and the whole thing. I was like, okay, I can understand.
I stood on their doorstep in December, just before Christmas, and they wished us a Merry Christmas. Congratulations on the baby. I cut them checks for the whole year. Thank you so much. You're great tenants because you never ask for anything. See you later. Have a good new year. And that was it. And then 7 weeks later in February, we find out this news, right? And it was totally a shocker. And you know, it just calculates to me, it just calculates as greed. Because when you look at, honestly, Mel, when you look at how much our house has gone up in property value just in the 4 years that we've lived here, I mean, I don't blame them because I look at how I'm like, holy shit, that's a profit from what it was worth when we moved in as renters to what it's worth to sell now. I understand the economics of business, and I don't fault someone for that. I just think it's in poor taste. They could have done it better. They could have at least said, hey, we're going to sell this summer, you know, this August, so get ready. You know, not, hey, by the way, next Friday, the realtor's coming with a photographer. Hey, by the way, next Saturday, which is this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday all day, we were out of the house for 4 or 5 hours apiece. What do you do during a pandemic when you have to leave the house because they're bringing strangers in for a showing? Yeah. Just drive around. We just drove around for hours. Just drove around.
Why would you leave the house? Why do you have to leave the house?
Well, we didn't have to leave the house, but because of the bagpipe stunt, I feel like they felt more comfortable. So that's kind of also my fault. Kind of.
You put a restraining order out against you, man. Like,
well, okay, so listen, I swear I'm not a lunatic. I swear, okay? But the realtor said to my father-in-law, Lisa's dad, said he's intimidated by me, or he's, you know. So I was like, all right, whatever. But here's the thing. For me,
but you did something else besides the bagpipe that made him feel.
Well, I told him to go fuck himself and looked him in the eye.
But you also had that whole Godfather moment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Well, that was the first meeting. Yeah, that's true. That was before the bagpipe thing. They were in our house, and I was sitting way back.
So it's like developed over time, you know?
That's true. I was sitting back in the kitchen, and Lisa answered the door. And I was sitting back in the kitchen like, and first of all, they said they were going to show up at 5 o'clock, and then they didn't show up till 6:45. So I was waiting for them to come, and so before I cooked my dinner. So I was sitting there. It's 6:45. I haven't eaten yet, and I'm like, fuck, I got to eat. So I throw a steak down on the
gremlin. The
gremlin was pedaling hard on his little bicycle. Eat, yes. And I threw a steak down on the frying pan, and the minute the steak's done and I put it on a plate, knock, knock, knock at the door. I'm like, oh, fuck, of course. So Lisa says, you know what? It's probably best if you just stay in the kitchen anyways. And I said, okay, fine. So I'm sitting there at the very back of the kitchen, and I'm just cutting my steak. Like, I'm cutting it and staring at him as he's walking in the front door, like a mob boss, like Tony Soprano at the back in the big booth of the restaurant, just sitting there cutting my steak, staring and breathing heavily, like,
oh my God,
like James Gandolfini, you know, Christopher. So anyway,
I would be scared. That would scare me. That would scare me.
Well, this is where, again, I swear I'm not a fucking psycho, but maybe I am. Who knows? But anyways, so he gives his business card to Lisa, and she brings it over to me in the kitchen and sets it down next to my steak on a plate. And when she goes back and she's talking to the landlady, the real estate agent's just looking around, casing our house, sussing it up for how much he can get for it, what kind of piece he can fucking get for it. And anyways, so I make sure he sees me, and I take my phone and I take a picture of his business card. Click. And then I look up at him, click, and I take a picture of him and wink at him.
Oh my God, Kris, see? Yeah, that's just, that's intimidating as fuck. Like, come on. I would be scared. I've seen you angry a couple of times. Yeah. It's not often.
Yeah, I know.
This is a fun-loving, funny guy behind the scenes, but I've seen some moments with you, and I'm like, shit.
Tiger doesn't get out of the cage very often, but
but you can be intimidating.
I can, and sometimes I do it on purpose. Like again, I felt like that night, the Tony Soprano scene. I feel like that night I was playing a role. I was playing bad cop. I'm like, okay, Lisa's going to be good cop. I'm going to be bad cop. But the other day, there was no cop. I was just acting crazy with the bagpipes, and I was like, I'm going to get these fuckers, right? Right. Anyways,
I still don't understand that though. I mean, you have a right to play the bagpipes even if they're coming in.
Well, that's what I said. The photographer threw a fit. He was like, I can't work in these conditions. And I'm like,
I don't understand.
Yeah, and that's why I said on the phone to the landlady, I was like, hey, you know what? They didn't like my music.
Yeah.
I teach bagpipes. I had students. What do you want? You know, I mean, I was doing it sarcastically. They knew I was full of shit, but like, you know.
Yeah.
But I could have had students. Could have been.
Yeah, that's the thing. I am surprised that they complained about that. Like I guess, like I said, it's like a you know, a few different events that have
trickled down and
sort of this.
Bagpipes, they're a weapon of war. I mean, when you think about it, they really are. World War II, man. You know, Piper's out there in the middle of friggin' war, just bullets whizzing by them, just you have to have balls of steel to do that, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Maybe
Listen, I say onwards and upwards, my friend. I think things are going to open up for you, and it's going to be fantastic.
We got a great place lined up. I saw it today, by the way. It's going to be perfect. So we're very at ease. Things happen for a reason. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay.
That whole cliche thing, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Next bit. We have to follow up on the last time Melanie was here on the podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about Armie Hammer, the actor.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We got to bring this up because at that time, Melanie claimed that she thought his fetish, a cannibalism fetish.
Oh, my God.
Cannibalism.
Yeah.
Your words, Melanie, not mine.
I know.
Kind of hot. Kind of hot. That's what you said. Kind of. I think it's kind of hot. Now things have changed. It turns out he actually apparently is a real deal cannibal. Like he likes to eat human flesh. Hot still or no?
No. Yeah. Okay. No. Look. Okay. Sometimes you do these hot takes, and let's unpack this shit. And it's a little too soon. You need to wait a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we just jumped in too soon. I am going to stand behind my my curiosity for different fetishes.
Okay.
I said, and I think I can't remember. I was on a few different podcasts during that time, so I cannot remember if I said on yours that I do like dominance in the bedroom. That is a thing, and it's a turn on, and I'm not going to deny that. But he has obviously taking it way too far. And, there's some very serious allegations there that I think it's pretty obvious I wouldn't stand behind. And I don't want anybody actually cutting me and eating me. You understand? That's not the vibe. So I'm not really into that. But the fantasy of it, and I've talked to sex experts since then. And she's very well known, Dr. Jess.
Oh, yeah. I know Dr. Jess.
Yeah. And she's talked about the cannibalism fetish, and it is a lot more common than you think. It is a thing. It is a thing. But it's, obviously he's taking it into reality. That's the scary part. He's actually allegedly cut someone and the whole thing. So that, ew. I hope that's obvious. I hope.
Follow her on OnlyFans, Melanie Martin. Her handle is Fetish Fantasy 6969.
At Melanie, no. I'm glad that we got to clarify that, but I felt like it was kind of obvious, Yeah,
that it goes without saying.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, last thing, bit. Laser hair removal on your downstairs, eh?
Oh, are you serious right now?
Listen, Melanie, you were trying to pin all the things that, we talk about all these edgy things off the air, but it's all Kris. It's all Kris. Well, today we talked about all these things. OnlyFans, laser hair removal downstairs, and it was all you're doing. Those were all your topics. And I'm like, you got to come on the podcast tonight. We got to air this shit. We got to air it. So, you're doing it? You're doing it?
Listen,
You're investigating it. You're investigating it.
I'm investigating it because I think this pandemic has, I haven't been able to wax, which is what I normally would do. And so like this, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. So shaving is what, the option we've had because everything's been closed and it's not great for your skin anywhere to do that. Okay, and so I have been, and what I said to Kris was that a dermatologist said you should, consider getting laser hair removal.
So hang on, the dermatologist suggested
that will be the better option. And no, I know.
How bad is it down there? What's going on down there? If the dermatologist is suggesting shit.
Jesus Christ. You're such a child.
I know.
It's not that bad. It's not the thing. It's just that I can't believe you're asking me about this right now.
Listen, I know the shaving, the bumps. I get it.
It's not about that. It's just that it's a better option for me. So yes, I'm looking into it right now.
That's cool. I had an ex-girlfriend a long time ago. I think girlfriend like number.
Could I be any more shades of red? Like I don't even know.
You got a glass of red wine in your hand. It's the wine talking. Lean on the wine. But I had a girlfriend, maybe girlfriend like 3 or 4, like in my early 20s.
Right.
And she had laser hair removal
Yeah.
down there. And as a 23, 24-year-old, holy shit, that was an eye-opener. I didn't even know that was a thing. And that's like 15, 17, I don't know, whatever. I could do math. Fuck, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was all gone. Permanently, though. It's gone permanently.
Yeah, that's not my jam. I don't want to do that. And that was part of the conversation that I was having was I personally wouldn't take it all off. I don't want to. I like having hair. I don't want it gone. But I used to do the Brazilian all the time, like the full wax, the whole thing.
Savalas?
Yeah, like it was gone. But I like to have some of that now. I think it's womanly. I think it's sexy.
I agree.
You know, I certainly like
at the very least a hint of pubis.
Yeah, I'm not into that like strip thing that I know you mentioned that today. That
the landing strip?
Yeah. I mean, I think you can do a little more than that, thing. But yeah, I think that for me, I do like to have some. So I couldn't imagine getting the whole thing lasered and then never having it come back again. It's one thing when you wax and a couple weeks later, are we really talking about this?
Yeah,
right
we
now?
are. Yeah. Where were you?
Yeah, like it's gonna come back, but if it's a permanent thing, then I would only be doing bikini line.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad we clarified.
No, not something that you're gonna see on OnlyFans. I'm just saying.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, come on.
Really? I get it though. I get it. Like committing to the full smooth, like permanently. I mean, I remember when I first, pulled him down and was like, whoa. And she's like, yeah, that's permanent. I had it lasered. I looked up at her and I said, that's commitment to the project. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like that's forever, right? And
what's your preference? Do you have a preference?
I just like a nice tight triangle. Nice little Bermuda triangle. Yeah. Landing strip was like 1991 Pam Anderson.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Retro. Yeah, I think that things go through like
it's retro,
phases.
but it's not retro. It's retro, but it's not retro enough. It's not like going back to the 70s retro where it's like, let's vibe this out and see what all natural feels like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's.
It's like you never left 1991. Like you never left that style. But like maybe does pubic hair goes through trends just like anything else in this world, right? Like it really does.
Yeah.
As do boobs. Have you ever noticed, Mel? Like maybe you can corroborate this. This is
boobs.
Listen,
what?
I'm writing a thesis on this, okay?
Okay.
So like boobs in the 80s, like when I saw boobs on Police Academy 2, they don't look like boobs look like today. Is that brassiere technology? Like that have shaped them differently throughout the years?
What did you see differently?
I don't know. They were pointier or something, or I don't know.
Maybe more natural?
Yeah, maybe they're just all fake now. Maybe that's it.
Well, they're not. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I think I mean, you can get fake breasts that look a little more triangular because the really round style of implant does look, I think in some cases looks a little faker.
Okay.
Than even a thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like a trend, Kris. I think I don't really know. But on a serious note, when it comes to implants, a lot of them are being recalled right now, by the way.
What? But they got over the saline thing. Is there another problem with implants
that
we're not aware of?
There's another recall on a lot of them, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it is sadly, and again, serious note. Look at me, I'm always taking it serious now.
It's okay.
Related to lymphoma. Lymphoma.
Oh, really?
So
lymphoma.
Yeah, very, very scary stuff. So a lot of women who, have implants, it's a scary time for them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap up on that bummer. No.
Shit, sorry.
Cheers to shitty implants. Cheers to you, Melanie.
Cheers.
I get it though. Committing back to the hair thing.
Oh, we're going back there. Okay.
Well, just another observation that I can relate to that kind of commitment because to always be bald and to never have a choice about what your
Yeah.
hairstyle looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm familiar. I like being bald.
Yeah.
I do. I like my look, and it's simple. It's easy to maintain.
Yeah.
But some days I wish I could have a mohawk. Some days I wish I could have a landing strip. Some days I wish I could have a nice tight triangle. You know?
Yeah, that'd be you just a triangle and you would look great.
Yeah, or a lightning bolt down the side. You know,
Whatever.
any
Yeah.
of those things.
Listen, to each their own, man. Whatever you like, do your thing.
Thanks, buddy.
Do your thing.
Melanie Martin, appearance number 3. Certainly not the last. We're not strangers. We won't be strangers. I'll see you in a few hours tomorrow morning. How about that?
Yeah.
Also, Lisa said, "Oh, you're not doing the episode with Melanie and Wendy because that's." And then she says, "And not me too." Melanie, Lisa wants to have you and Wendy, my former co-host from Kingston, and her all on the same podcast.
I'm all about it. Let's do it up.
And then I said, honey, you know, I've been a little stressed lately. And then she's like, you're right. You have been. After the realtor thing, she's like, maybe we'll let it sleep for a bit.
Wait till you get settled in the new place and you're calm.
Yes.
You smoke your bagpipes. You smoke your weed. You're
Yeah.
all chilled out. Then we can do the thing.
Exactly.
I'm all about it.
Surrounded by women, Melanie, Lisa, and now we're having a daughter in a few weeks. I'm getting used to it. I'm adjusting, putting myself in that little box.
Yeah. You lucky man, you.
Thanks. I know. I'm the luckiest man ever. Gorgeous wife. Gonna have a gorgeous kid. Melanie, see your gorgeous ass tomorrow. Or on OnlyFans. I don't know which. See you, pal.
Bye.